If you liked it, I'm happy for you. But for me personally, no. Hello, hello, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, I will be sharing with you all of the books that I read in January. I read 12 books, which is amazing. Started the year off really strong. I'm not going to go in any particular order, but I do want to share with you what my first book of 2025 was that I read, and that was The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna. I started off the year strong. This book, I felt like it kind of put me in a little bit of a slump, not gonna lie, because it was super emotional. Like the last chapter, if you read this book, you know, okay? Like this was my second Kristen Hanna book, but my first historical fiction. The last book that I read from her was called Magic Hour, and it was not historical fiction. So this was like my first historical fiction, and it hit heavy. It was um beautiful. First of all, it was unforgettable. Like I will hold these characters in my heart forever. I will never forget them. When I finished this book, I was just sitting on my bed staring at the wall for a hot minute. And for the next day or two, every single time I would think about it, I would tear up, get choked up. I was just like, wow, this was deeply, deeply moving, deeply touching. Okay. Um, Story about two sisters living through, like World War II and like the Nazi era, all of that. Oh my God, like I do have a few of Kristen Hanna's books. I think I have, let me see, like 4 or 5 of her books, and they're all on my 2025 physical TBR, like the books that I want to get to this year. So that's why I started the year off like with this one because I really want to be intentional and get through all of those books. But this one is thick. It took me the full week, I think a full week to read this book, where I typically take like 2 or 3 days to get through a book. A full week for this one. And highly recommend. Highly, highly, highly recommend. I do have another Kristen Hanna book on my February TBR, which would have been the last video that I uploaded. I actually just recorded it. So if you see me wearing the same outfit, that's why. I showed you in the February TBR this sweatshirt. It says bookish. I got it from Etsy and I'm obsessed. I will have another video wearing this hoodie looking exactly like this because I'm like batch recording today since I feel like I'm a little bit behind. This is just my second month on YouTube, so I have to like figure out my schedule, so I will get better like with it. But anyway, Kristen Hanna, The Nightingale. I rated this 5 out of 5. Like, this is infinity stars. Okay, all of the stars, all of the stars. I loved it, but it was painful. There's nothing light and fluffy about this girl, okay? So don't go into it thinking that. So that was the first book that I read in January. The rest of the books I divided into categories, but not in order. So it's not the order that I read them in. But starting with some light and fluffy reads, I read Is She Really Going Out with Him by Sophie Cousins. This was light. This was sweet. I enjoyed it. I would think I gave this like a maybe like a 3.75. Um, this was about a mother, like a divorced mother. She writes a column for a paper, and like I'm afraid to like have spoilers. I never talk about what the books are about because of that reason. I go into my books blind, but like just in case people are interested in knowing like what the books are about. Um, but yeah, basically she writes for a paper and ends up dating people like for a column. So this is like her journey into getting back into the dating world after divorce, being a single mother, and finding love eventually. So this was cute. Definitely a lighter read, especially after Kristen Hanna book. I needed a few light reads. Next, Jill Shalvis, Better Than Friends. This is her newest release. It was just released in January and read it right away. She has, I want to say, like 7 or 8 books in this series, the Sunrise Cove series, and I have been reading all of them. So I read all of them up to this point. I haven't read any of her other series, but Jill Shalvis, like her books feel like Hallmark movies to me. They're sweet. They're not very spicy. Actually, I'm pretty sure they're closed door. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure like it's not very spicy. So if you don't like spice and you want like a cute romance, Jill Shalvis is your girl. Let's see, which one was this? This is an enemies to lover. That's right. Small town, forced proximity, love story about family, friendship, and true love. Oh yeah, her parents go missing. Oh my god. Why does January feel so long ago? Like January was the longest year of my life. Like it felt like it just kept going on and on and on and on and on. This was good though. I would give it like a like a 3.5, 3.75. Super cute. Next, I have Beg, Borrow, or Steal by Sarah Adams. This is her newest release. This was, what is the name of the series? Don't know. Hmm. But I believe it's like in the same universe as Practice Makes Perfect. Oh my God, why am I drawing a blank? But this was super cute. They were teachers, right? Two feuding second grade teachers and neighbors find themselves teaming up in this new rivals to lover romance. Okay, she's the author of the rule book and Practice Makes Perfect. I love Sarah Adams. I loved Practice Makes Perfect. Oh, When in Rome, that's what it was. I love that book so much. So I was excited. This was like one of their sisters, right? Emily. Yes. I love this book. It was light, it was fluffy, it was cutesy. Definitely a cute little like palette cleanser. Next, I have two thrillers. First, Local Woman Missing by Mary Kubica. I loved it. I loved it. I think I gave it like a 4. I was sad. I was definitely sad for this book. I read it super quickly. It was a little bit like, I don't know if heavy is the right word, but it was, hmm, how do I describe? Like, it was darker. Maybe it was darker. Maybe dark is the word. I don't know. Than I expected it to be. Like, I'm used to Frida McFadden, okay? And this one hit a little bit different, for sure. But once I started this book, like, I didn't want to stop. I think I read it in a day. It was so fast paced. Highly recommend. There's like girls that went missing. Shelby Tebow is the first to go missing, then Meredith Dickey and her 6-year-old daughter Delilah, that is just blocks away from where Shelby was last seen, striking fear into their once peaceful community. After an elusive search that yields more questions than answers, the case eventually goes cold. Now, 11 years later, Delilah shockingly returns. Everyone wants to know what happened to her, but no one is prepared for what they'll find. And some people will stop at nothing to keep the truth buried. This was thrilling, okay, as a thriller should be. Okay, the next book is another thriller, Beautiful Ugly by Alice Feeney. This was the first Alice Feeney book I ever read. I've always heard such amazing things about her books, but girl, I don't know, I didn't like it. I didn't, I don't know. I got this for my book of the month and I did not like it. I would give this like a 2.5. Okay, and that might be generous. I didn't care. Like, this was not it. This was not it. Like, I didn't like it. If you liked it, I'm happy for you. But for me personally, no. The guys, like the man in this book is an author. His wife goes missing. Girl, the ending was so like, it was so far fetched. I was like, what in the world did I just read? Like, it was pretty short though. It was a quick read, but like, I felt like I read through it fast because I'm like, it has to get good at some point, right? Like, I don't know. I wouldn't recommend this book, but if you liked it, you know, good for you. I don't agree with you, but it is what it is. Next, 3 books I'll show you together. The Light Lark series. I read all 3 books. One of my goals for 2025 is to read full series, not to read one book in a series and then take the whole year or months later to get into the second, third, fourth, and like continue the series because I will forget. I always forget. Like I just read, actually, I'm not gonna talk about that yet because I have that on my list to share with you. I'll tell you in a minute. But the Lightlark series by Alex Astor, I liked it. I liked it. I've always heard like such conflicting like reviews about this series. Some people love it, some people didn't really care for it. They think it's a cash grab or whatever. I thought it was good. I liked it, you know? I would say maybe like a 3.5, maybe a 3.75 overall. Like I liked it. I liked it. I enjoyed it. Um what was it about? Hold on. I can't remember. Let's see. What the hell was this about? Somebody says if the Hunger Games was a dark fairy tale, you'd get the vicious and enchanting Lightlark. Get ready to be transported into a dazzling world where love is a death sentence and the romances between competitors. Oh, that's right. That's right. It was a love triangle. Is that what it's called? A love triangle? I don't know, but she was like there was two different men that were in love with her or whatever. It was good. It was good, girl. I already told you I'd be forgetting everything, but the vibes were cute. I read through them really fast. I love books that I can read through really fast because I feel like I can read more books in a month. Like if I read a bunch of books in a month, I don't know why I feel like it's like some sort of accomplishment. I mean, it's no competition. Like it doesn't matter how many books you read. If you only read one or two books in a month, good for you. Like, but like I don't know. I just love seeing my books pile up, and I'm like, oh my god, look how many books I read this month. Like I'm so well read. Oh my god. Anybody else? Anyway, moving on. The Ballad of Never After, and the book that comes after this, whatever that book is called. True Love, what? A Curse for True Love. I read both of them. I actually listened to them on Libby, the audio books. Love them both. I don't have the ballad, well, girl, I don't have A Curse for True Love yet because it wasn't released in paperback, but I did pre-order it, so whenever it comes, I will add it to my shelf as a trophy. I love this series. I might have loved the Caravel series more, which I don't think is a popular opinion. I believe people like this series more than that one, but I really like this one though too. I really like this one too. Um, it felt very like a fairy tale to me, which was nice. It was really nice. I loved it. Jax, I love Jax. Do you need to read Caravel first? I would say no. You do meet Jax in the Carvel series, but like it's not absolutely necessary to this series in my opinion. So if you don't want to read the Carvel series, I in my opinion, you don't have to. You can go straight into this one, okay, girl? But I did love this series a lot. And last but not least, I have some words about this book. Girl, Onyx Storm. Okay. I I am so happy for anybody who read this and had that 5-star feeling. Cannot relate. When I tell you I had to force myself to read this, like I was plucking my eyelashes out trying to get through this book. I was bored, confused. I'm like, did I even read Fourth Wing and Iron Flame? Like, where was I? And I watched like review videos too on those other two books. I did intend to reread those books and I never did because I wanted to read all the other books on my January like TBR. Maybe I should have. I don't know, but I wasn't feeling it. Fourth Wing, I really enjoyed. Iron Flame, not as much as Fourth Wing, but Onyx Storm, like I feel like the books are going downhill for me. But I saw so many 5-star reviews on this book, and I'm like, what am I missing? The reread. The reread is what I'm missing. That has to be it. That has to be it. But the last like 100 pages, it was good. The last 100 pages was really amazing. I just don't think I should have to read 300 or 400 pages to get to the exciting part of the book. Like, I want to be excited the entire time. Okay? I was so confused on the characters. I was like, what is going, like, honestly, what is going on? Like, am I dumb? Like, I don't know. I was very confused for most of this book. But like I said, the last 100 pages, okay, but like not enough to give this a high rating. Maybe a 2.75, okay? And I feel like I'm being generous because I'm too scared for people to hate me for saying like such slander against the series, but like no girl. And honestly, after reading this, I don't know if I want to continue the series. And I know they're having like an adaptation, like I think they're doing like a show or whatever, and I'll watch that, but like to continue reading the series, like I don't know if I'm gonna do that. And if I did, I feel like I would have to reread all three books, and I don't want to. But anyway, that was everything that I read in January. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and watching this video, and I will catch you in the next one soon.